guys, this is Dawn with Furtastic Friends, and today we are doing another craft project. And this project came to me after I saw a bunch of falling branches in my backyard. So I thought it might be a neat idea to come up with a kind of nature-inspired craft project. And this is what I came up with. I'm going to take a canvas. Now, I did buy this at Joann's when they had them on sale. This is, I think, an 8x10. But you could also use a canvas from the Dollar Tree. Just get one of those canvas pictures and then paint over it with either a white acrylic or chalk paint to paint over the picture, and then that way it'll clear out the picture. Then collect some branches in your backyard, and then what I did was I cut them in various lengths to simulate a tree. Then I picked out this red and green plaid stock paper from one of my paper pads. I picked out several papers that I tried to choose from, and I liked several of them, and it was really hard to choose, but because this one was in Christmas colors, that's the reason why I kind of went with this one. And I'm kind of into the plaid this year. We're going to glue the paper to the canvas. Then we're going to glue our tree to the paper. We're also going to add some wood letters, which I have spelled out in the word magical. We also have some of these really thin, I can barely pick them up, very thin iridescent snowflakes that we're going to add. They're going to barely show up on the paper, but it'll add just a little bit of shimmer and make you think that you're in the forest during winter. We're going to add those. I also have this blinged out star that we're going to add to the top of our tree. And then, not to overpower our tree, we're going to add this tiny little bow to the bottom. And I think that'll be it, because we don't want to do too much, because we don't want to overpower the picture. And then I think that'll be it. So guys, let's get started with our craft project. Now I'm going to take these off in order so I don't get them mixed up. I mean, it shouldn't be hard because each one of them is just a little bit shorter than the next. And then, instead of Mod Podging this, I am going to use a glue stick. Oh, that one's almost empty, so let me just go ahead and use a fresh one. And I'm hoping that this will work to glue this down. And that means I'm going to need to use a lot of this glue stick. But the reason why I don't want to use Mod Podge is because I do not want the picture to get any wrinkling or bubbling, because this will be a picture that's going to go on the wall. Or I might put a stand on the back or put it on a picture stand, and I really want the paper to lay flat. So that is the reason why I'm choosing a glue stick over the Mod Podge. And I'm going to make sure I get the edges really well, because I don't want the paper to peel up. Luckily, we have just enough sunshine today that I can tell where the glue stick is and where it isn't on this white canvas. And I'm going to go over my edges just one more time, because like I said, I really want this to stick. And I'm going to rub this really well, especially along the edges. And if you see any edge that doesn't look like it's sticking, this is the time to go back and put some more glue stick down. And right now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to see if there's anything that's sticking up. Okay, so see, that stuck really well. Now, because this is actually still kind of wet, I want to let that glue dry for about 30 minutes before we start adding on more glue for the other items. So guys, let your glue stick set. Now, if you have more than 30 minutes to let it set, that's even better. But I'm going to try to let mine set for at least 30 minutes before I move on to the next step and show you gluing on all the other pieces. Okay? So, for me, it'll be 30 minutes. For you, it'll be a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. I went ahead and let this dry for over an hour. I wanted to be sure that it stuck and that it wasn't still damp, because we're going to be using hot glue and some of this art glitter glue adhesive. And I'm going to be using this on those really delicate snowflakes, because it's permanent, it dries clear, and it's acid free on paper. And since we are gluing this to paper, I want it to be clear, and I don't want it to discolor over time. So I'll be using this glue for those snowflakes. For the tree and for the letters, actually, I'm probably going to use that same glue for the letters, because I don't want the hot glue to make them bumpy. Hot glue sometimes can make them come out in globs, even though I am using my detailer hot glue. I just don't want to risk them not laying flat. Okay, guys, now I've gone ahead and laid out my sticks and my snowflakes to get an idea of where I want everything to be before I glue it down. Because that way you can get an idea of where you want everything to go before you make it permanent. And then that way there's less chances of making a mistake. So, I think I'm going to start with the snowflakes because, like I said, I already know where they're going to go. And then we'll either do the tree or the letters. And I'm going to be using a little detailer brush to make sure that this glue gets laid down very lightly. And evenly. I'm going to need a lot more than that. And I'm using my silicone mat here because nothing will stick to it. I can wash it when I'm done. Oh, I should have gotten a wet paper towel. And that might just have been a mistake because it might have just dulled my snowflake. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I got these snowflakes off of Amazon in a big pack. They come in 2 sizes, the little ones and the big ones. These little snowflakes are paper thin, but they're so pretty. Okay, let me go rinse my brush before this adhesive dries on it. Actually, no, let me glue down my letters. I have the letters already laid out, and I'm using this one green line across the bottom as my guide to make sure that they're straight. Okay, now I'm going to do the eye first because it lines up with the trunk of the tree. And then that way, I can line the rest of the letters up with that. and then lining it up with the green stripe. Now these letters came in a natural wood, and you can leave them that way. It would be pretty either way, but I gave them a really faint coat of white chalk paint because I was hoping that that would help them stand out just a little bit more. If you want, you could also paint them green or red to go along with the colors of this paper. That would be pretty too. Or maybe in gold, that would also be pretty. Or maybe a silver. All of those would be pretty. But I was kind of wanting to keep this natural. Plus, the edging of the letters is kind of a darker wood. And I kind of wanted to keep that to go along with the wood of the tree. So that way everything kind of ties in together. I'm glad I chose this plaid paper because it's helping me line up these letters for this word. And I don't have to worry about them being wonky. And then now our last letter. I wanted to use the word believe, but the package of letters that these come in, you only get one V. And apparently I already used it in the word love. So I no longer had a V for the word believe. So I had to get creative. But that's all right because I was able to make the word magical. Okay, guys, now, is this a self-adhesive star? Yes, it is. Okay, guys, let me go clean my brush now before this adhesive sets. Okay, I'm back. So now we're going to want to start to glue down our tree. And I think I'm going to start with the trunk. Now you want to use enough hot glue to where it'll stick, but not so much that it's going to ooze out. And I'm going to hold it here for several seconds because I want it to cool down and dry. Okay, there we go. And then now our next branch will be this one. And the same thing, hold it Now you can find some wood pieces at the Dollar Tree or craft stores, but I thought it was more fun to go through my own yard and use pieces from my own yard to make it personal. Okay, now the next one. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between each of the branches. I'm not going to touch them, but I am going to put them close, just not on top of each other. And then I'm just going to keep doing this all the way up. This would definitely be something you could do with your kids or your grandkids. Go out to your yard or to the forest near your house and pick out some pretty sticks. And you could make your tree as big or as little as you want. Now these little ones are going to be hard putting hot glue on. And then not end up getting burnt. And that's also why I love my detail hot glue gun. Okay. There we go, guys. Now all I got to do is do the star and the bow. Now I got this star on a pack or a sheet of rhinestone stars from the Dollar Tree. So I cut out this little star and we're going to put that right at the top. But I don't know if it's one piece or if these are a bunch of little rhinestones just stuck together. Okay, they're actually on a sheet. So, thank you. I don't have to piece all of the rhinestones together. And I don't have to glue it. Okay, and the last thing is going to be this little bow at the base of the tree. And the tails might be too long, but let's glue it first and see. Listen here, hot glue strings. Okay, yeah, I do need to trim those tails, guys. Hold on. I mean, I don't know. One tail is longer than the other, but that I do need to trim. Because I don't like them uneven. Okay, now they're even, I think. Okay, guys, I think we're done. We made our own cute Christmas tree picture made out of sticks from the backyard. Ah, come here, glue strings. There we go. Okay, guys. If you're new to my channel, I hope you'll subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And as always, love, hugs, and kitty kisses. Happy holidays to everyone. I hope you're staying safe. And we'll catch you next time.